All right, so next up on the bubble watch list, we're going to be taking a look at Indiana State coming off a loss to Drake in the Missouri Valley Championship. And if they were going to lose and be on the bubble, this is probably the best way to go out. They kept it close, so it looks like they can play with a tournament team in Drake. And they have a good argument to be in the tournament. I would have them in. We'll get down to their schedule and resume in a second. I don't know if they're going to be in, though. They're going to be sweating it out over the next week. They kind of got to hope for some teams to win their tournament to kind of create another bubble spot, you know what I mean, to make it. Right now I've got like 6 bubble spots open. That would make it 7, you know. But Indiana State sitting at 28-6 on the year, 17-3 in conference. I think the good news for them is they might get rewarded for scheduling tough out of conference play. For example, they do have some losses out of conference, but they're 2 good teams. Like, for example, they scheduled Alabama. They got beat pretty bad there, but you got to reward them for putting Alabama on their schedule. Nobody wants to see a 12-loss Big East 5th place team get in the tournament over Indiana State. You know, I mean, we know they're not going to win the tournament. Talking about Villanova, put Indiana State in there. Let's see what happens. All right, so like Villanova, St. John's, Providence. I would much rather see Indiana State. They got Cream Abdul Jabbar. All right, he deserves a shot there. But they split with Drake. You know what I mean? So I mean, give him a shot. But yeah, lost to Alabama. That's a good loss there. You've got to win over Toledo. That is probably a tournament team, so you got to hope Toledo wins their conference and makes the tournament. That way, that gives you another tournament win. That would look a lot better on the resume, at least. You've got a close loss to Michigan State. All right, that's another tournament loss there, so that's not too bad. You split with Drake. Like I said, Drake's really the only team in your conference. Bradley's okay as far as a good quality win, but lost to Drake today closely. Like I said, you at least kept it competitive, and I think helped your chance to make the tournament. Now, I think Drake had a better argument for being a last 4-in team. You know, I think their resume is a little better. But the good news for Indiana State is you've got those losses to Alabama and Michigan State, and you've got that win over Toledo. You've got to hope they make the tournament, and you would have a win over them, a win over Drake, and then losses to Alabama and Michigan State. I think they're in at the moment. I've got them in my last 4-in, but it's going to be tough. It's going to depend on kind of what goes down over the next week. Like, for example, if Ohio State makes the Big Ten championship and loses, they've got a pretty good argument to get in that bubble spot. Similar like Texas A&M. That's another team that could sneak in over you. I hope Indiana State is in. If they do get in as 11 seed as the play-in game, I would not want to play them. They played with Drake today, and I think pretty highly of Drake. I think they're legit. So I wouldn't want to play Indiana State if they do get in. But ultimately, though, having to play the play-in game and then depending on the matchup you would get as that 11 seed in the first round is going to be tough. But I think Indiana State should be in at the moment, but we'll see. But if they do get in, they're probably not making it out of the first weekend. I just don't think they match up well with some of these teams that they would have to play. But let me know your thoughts on Indiana State. Do you think they're in? Do you think they should be in? Let me know. Comment down below. Make sure to like this video and subscribe.